so Destiny 2 Heresy episode's out. I know I didn't post this like I normally would on Sunday. I hope this is alright with you guys. Super Bowl Sunday was out. Come on, guys. I was gonna watch it. The Eagles absolutely blazed the Kansas City Chiefs, and that's how it was. I made a great, tremendous batch of spaghetti, some nice wine sauce too. Come on, tremendous, alright? Back to the main goal here, main thing, main subject. So, Heresy came out, and I just want to say, Hive does what the Hive be doing, okay? There's nothing quite like going back to the Dreadnought and having a Hive episode or season in general. The Hive have been my favorite for years and will continue to be my favorite for years. There's no doubt about it in my mind. So as long as the Hive around, this game's pretty much alive to me. When it comes to like the Scorn and all of that, like even the Fallen, I don't really care about them too much. I mean, I do a little, but the Scorn are never really a real threat to me. The Fallen, like, yeah, they have Aramis who ran away, but not really a threat to me. But the Hive, dude, the Hive have done nothing but prove that they're a threat over and over again. And the Vex are kind of in that same area, but the Vex are just super, super fucking boring because all they want is the same thing, I guess not technically anymore, but at one point in time, all they wanted was the same thing and they couldn't exactly communicate with you. Because of that, they were kind of like not worth even really spending too much thought on. I mean, Atheon was great. Garden of Salvation, I like that raid a lot, but overall, like, you don't really actually care or have like an emotional connection to the Vex, if you get what I mean. The Hive, we know their story. We know what they want, we know how they think, and we know how they operate. The sword logic, I mean, the opening cutscene was probably the best cutscene I've seen since the final shape, for fuck's sakes. The last two episodes, honestly, horrible. I'm gonna be for real here. I didn't care about the lady who had the echo with the Vex. Fikrul I knew was gonna die sooner than later anyway, so it didn't really matter to me. I was like, yeah, this is probably about the time he dies. I mean, I wasn't necessarily surprised that Aramis ended up taking the little light shard there, or the echo, whatever you want to call it. That didn't surprise me at all. I kind of saw that coming at the beginning. I could tell you now, I didn't expect Eris Morn to get stabbed in the chest and then uplifted into the air, okay? And then not only that, thrown off the side of a fucking building with the Drifter. Now, luckily, you know, the Drifter has his ghost that he modified, so he isn't gonna die, but his little moon dust is dead. Well, we thought, until we actually get to the end of the cutscene, find out she has her own throne world. I mean, that is probably the best opening I've seen to an episode or season, in my opinion, so far. Whenever you put Eris Morn into it, you already know you're off to a killer fucking start, in my opinion. And the Nether, I just want to say, I haven't been able to play too much of it because I'm trying to like have variety and streams and all that stuff. And you know, the what is it called? The dungeon came out not too far afterwards. But oh my god, it's awesome. This is like the only seasonal activity I've kind of enjoyed. Not just that, but the buffs that they did to Warlock. I did not think that the super with Geomags would be that significant again, but I was doing a damage test the other day with it, and I think I got like 900,000 damage on the low end. Arc Warlock is now kind of a viable option again, as long as you still have someone running well for a boss phase, which, in my opinion, during the dungeon, I have another idea that might work for some of the bosses, which people might not like to hear, but I still think it could work. We'll get to that there in a minute, though. Overall, so far, I haven't even been able to fully complete the first mission for the Nether, because it was, well, I guess for the first mission of episode 1, whatever you want to call it, you know, because it went, oh yeah, and another part just came out today, because it, you know, it went the Nether, all that stuff, and immediate dungeon, and PlayStation was down all Friday into Saturday, which was horrible, by the way, and I just want to give props to Bungie on this one, because I don't really give them props too often, but I want to give them props that they actually did a very good thing. They decided to extend the contest mode to another weekend. Tremendous idea, Bungie. I'll give you props for that. Amazing idea. And I can't wait to actually be able to do contest mode properly, because I wasn't able to do it until late in the day Saturday anyway, because, you know, I was getting a lot of snow and shit that I had to, well, no, I didn't shovel any of it, I'm not gonna lie to it. I was doing something. I think I was getting an oil change or something during the early day, and I was like, I would have rather gone in on this Friday and then continued it into Saturday. Unfortunately, I was up until probably 5 a.m. Sunday morning, and I was like, you know what? We'll stop here. The lock set boss is a pain in the ass, and I know it's glitched out. I know that precision damage, from my knowledge, isn't working properly. Maybe that was just a myth I was hearing, but from what I know of, precision damage isn't working right. I also was really only able to do a ton of damage to it with, believe it or not, Grand Overture. And honestly, Chaos Reach was really busting the doonies down on that lock set boss. Now, we're gonna get more into the dungeon. I just want to say all around, the dungeon's dope. There's nothing like being in the pyramid ship again. Not only that, but being able to reuse Savathun's throne world again for something. And like, I mean, this is a undiscovered part of the ship, it seems, which makes you beg to like ask the question, how much more of the ship is there that we just haven't seen? I mean, these things are fucking huge. What else is in these ships? Honestly, what they should do at this point, and I'm also wondering this question in specific, is there any way where we can actually get the ability to fully go through not just the witnesses, but Rolk's ship in specific? Because I have a feeling he has some crazy stuff on there. Some real freaky stuff on there in specific. I would really like to see what he has on that ship other than this, because it seems very expansive. I mean, these things are bigger than cities, it seems. It's almost the size, if not bigger, than Savathun's throne world. If it wasn't for the fact that her version of the Dreadnought is literally a big old circle that's the size of a freaking planet. But I feel like there's a lot more to discover on there. But I will say that it did get, you know, it follows your traditional raid dungeon-esque type of situation. It brought us back to the days of old. You know, the days of Val the Disciple, which I guess is now old now, probably, what is it, 3-4 years old at this point? The days of Val the Disciple. You reuse the symbols. I have no problem with that at all. I like the symbol ideas, but not only did they reuse the symbols, they did it in a new way, which I actually very much like, because no longer was it, okay, get this symbol, now shoot this obelisk in 3 different locations and good luck and try your best to do what you can. It was, hey, you see that light over there? Figure out a way to get it here. All right, now do that again, but twice in this small amount of time. All right, do that again, but 3 times in this small amount of time. And let's see what you can do here, guys. It was a really good dungeon all around, honestly. Prismatic really helped me with the big old, you know, tormentor wannabes. The subjugators, there we go. It worked very well on them because you could just drop an arc nade, you know, pull out an arc nade as a warlock, consume it, and then also drop a nice little stasis turret, which was tremendous. All around, that first thing was pretty dope. And then you get to the lock set, which I never got past on contest because we didn't really get there even until probably about three hours after first encounter, if I'm being honest. I went in there blind. I didn't go in there with a video. I didn't know what exactly to use. And after a long time of doing lock set over and over again, you know, I probably started this at 9-10 o'clock is when I probably started actually doing it, maybe even 11. So by that time it was already like 1-2 a.m. I was in lock set itself for at least 6 hours or so, and our Titan was doing all right. He's a pretty cool guy, and we also had another warlock with us that was originally a hunter. Now, we didn't get past lock set. We couldn't meet the damage threshold, in my opinion, so we had to reset a few times trying to, and/or we'd get to, you know, just finishing that full minute of damage, which is like a long time in Destiny time, a really long time, and then we'd get pulled in and absolutely wrecked. Now, I thought of this the other day. What instead could we use instead of using Weld? Well, my best guess is, what if we had a Titan running Saint 14's helm for anything that decided to run in, because you'd also get weapons of light with that. I'm not sure if it's the same as or as good as a buff as well as, but you know, we'd have to see that. I don't know the numbers off the top of my head. You could use that, and then you could have 2 warlocks just absolutely geomag the shit out of lock set while you continuously blast it with Grand Overture in contest mode. I know a lot of people were just using basic wells. They were using Sleeper Simulant. They were using Queen's Breaker, I think, or no, not Queen's Breaker, Sleeper Simulant, and I also saw Anarchy. Anarchy I couldn't get to work properly for me, and my team couldn't get it to really work. It was either one of us would have 1 million damage, 1.5 million, and the other 2 would have 800 and 600,000. So I think Anarchy, if I'm right, has this weird thing where if someone else has it, they don't like stack on top of each other, so it kind of works fucky. I could be wrong about that, but I believe that's how it works. Overall though, I do think that there is a better way to complete lock set at a much faster pace, and I think that Bubble Titan might actually be the way to do that. Now, I do know if you're holding that shield in front of it, you have, I believe it's a 35% boost in damage, but you're also missing some damage there. But the fact of the matter is, if you have 2 grand overtures and, you know, you're blasting through it and you throw one of your shield things right at the thing and you hold your shield up for a while, 35%, it's a 70% boost just by 2 people alone if you combine them. I have a feeling that either the Titan shield or the bubble would do better. In my opinion, probably bubble, because it's just like Well, where it's a standalone, but it could also block you from a lot of those bugs coming down onto you specifically. Now, I had a lot of trouble, specifically because the bugs, we would die in Well, and I had to run speaker sight and all of that. And to be honest with you, it's a pain in the ass to kill ads when you're running speaker sight in specific, but you know, it is what it is. I think that bubble could be an easy replacement there, though, and I think it could even be as efficient, if not better, because when you're going back, you quickly reload in the bubble, you have a whole bunch of bumblebees chasing you down, and they all just hit the outside of the bubble. I'm not confident in this yet, because I haven't been able to test it yet. I'd have to test it on contest mode, meaning I either run on my Titan or I have someone else run on their Titan. I'm sure if you just use 3 thunderclap crashes, you get the same, you know, thing. Or if you used a Star Eater Nova Bomb on there, which they did apparently lock up, so you couldn't use that in contest mode, that you could get a very close, you know, situation like there. But I feel like bubble would be very convenient in there, specifically with how things spawn. Now, when a witch eventually spawns on you, you just have a bubble, they're wearing Saint 14s, it's immediately blinded, you could take care of any ad or anything immediately around you and probably tank down the damage a lot faster and a lot easier with a lot less stress. Even with Well, it's still stressful. Well is not, I repeat, not what it used to be, and that's okay. I understood it was very, very OP for a long time. I think maybe 3-4 years down the line, if this game's still going at a decent to strong pace, that Well of Radiance will once again get a nice buff. But it's not going to be anytime soon. At best, it's going to be 3 to 4 years down the line. Now, the final boss, annoying. You know, I didn't get to him on contest mode. He was annoying. I didn't really have an optimized loadout, and my team was kind of iffy. So I'm not really going to give like my opinion on him yet. But from what it seemed like, he was pretty generally straight up easy. But like I said, we didn't really have an optimized loadout. So we're just going to move past that guy and go on to the rest of what we've seen so far. Overall, the Nether, great looking. Eris being back and having her own throne world, and I honestly speculate that she is going to be the Taken Queen. I really have a large speculation now, quote me, Eris, the Taken Queen. Okay, I think this season is off to a very strong start, and if you haven't tried it yet and you love the Hive like I do, go out there, go try it, have fun, enjoy it, and expect and be open to something new and different. If you haven't tried Arc Warlock, try Arc Warlock again. I was an Arc main when Destiny 2 dropped, or well, whenever Chaos Reach dropped, really. I was an Arc main for a very long time because it just would blitz, absolutely blitz bosses. It didn't matter what it was. It would just blitz it, and you'd have 4 Warlocks running Geomag Stabilizers, and you'd have 1 running Well of Radiance, and that would just absolutely destroy everything. But yeah, hopefully you guys like this video. Go try it, guys. I think it's very much worth your time and effort to have fun and try the game. This is a good time of year to try it, because this is when they generally start to do their best work in the episodes. Mid-year, not so much. You can tell they're a little lazy, a little tired, trying to gain their rest back for another upcoming large expansion to mid-size expansion, I guess now, even though I kind of wish they just stuck with the large expansions, whatever. Go try it, have fun, be open-minded, and go ahead and really try Arc Warlock. Let me know what you think. The new turrets are fun as hell. All of it's fun. I haven't really had a boring moment so far with it. My opinion can always change. We'll have to see with the upcoming, you know, weeks of the episode releases and all that. If anything changes, it could not. But so far, it's off to a strong start. I like it. I enjoy it. See you later, guys. Like, subscribe, comment. Tell me if you agree. Tell me if you disagree. Whatever you want. Peace.